There we go, it's a better fish. Good morning, troops. Another day, another drain. Everyone's off to work and I've just finished. What do you do after a 12-hour night shift? You get on a local drain and you see if you can catch some pike. Got a day off, gonna make the most of it. All 3 rods are out. We've only been fishing 10 minutes. Let's go dead baiting for pike. Welcome back to the channel, troops. We're fishing for pleasure. Morning, troops. Another day, another drain. As I said, we're straight from work we're on the Cambridgeshire Fens straight away. I described it as a local water. But it is for work, you know what I mean? It's 5 minutes from where I work, so thought, do I go home after a night shift, spend half my day off in bed? Why miss an opportunity? It's a glorious morning, about 2 degrees, not even a grass frost. There was in places, but it was not here. It's not much cloud cover. I've had one tentative snatch at my paternostered roach, but it's been that long since I've had a bite on a circle hook. I wound down too fast, so no cigar. But stuck it back out on its nose, hopefully it'll go again. That's a good start. That's a margin rod. I've got 3 rods out, left hand rod, margin rod, running water paternostered rig, single roach. Would be a single roach, wouldn't have loads of roach on it, would I? Mounted on a single hook through the snout. That rig's normally nailed on with the fish. I really got excited, going had one for ages, and I wound down too quick. Middle rod is a smelt mounted on size 8 trebles. Static dead. That's over at the far bank. You see behind me the buttress of the bridge there, and the shape of the contour of the bank makes a nice little like natural bay. So we're presenting a bait in there. And down in the right hand margin we have a whole herring mounted on size 8 semi-barbless trebles. That's a static dead. Finished work at 6. It was still dark when I got here, so I just sat down and had my breakfast, had a nice cuppa, and we're fishing. So hopefully we've had one little tentative run. We'll have a good day. Now it's going to be bright, but the water's got a nice bit of colour to it, so it's not going to put me off much, the brightness. Hopefully it don't put the fish off too much either. And we're set there, as I say. Got my normal 3 rod approach. Gutted about that. Got really overexcited there and wound down too quick. It snatched at it a couple of times. It hadn't taken it, and I just wound down too fast. So too early, I should say. So we're 1-0 to the pike already, but hopefully it's going to be one of those days where we have a few. But I'm really pleased with that. I might stick we'll see how it goes. It's not running off hard, just gentle meander to it. So at the moment my approach I'll stick with, but if I get more activity on the Paternoster, I might set up another one. Let's crack on. Wow. Where do you start? What I love about these venues, I really do. It's the wildness of it. You could have 20 anglers on there and not be on a fish. "10 foot deep." Wide as you like and as long as you like. It goes on forever and a day. That's just one little section of it. There's the left hand rod. That's a paternoster roach on my running water paternoster rig. You had a little run on there which I messed up. I'm not going to blame anything else other than myself. You know what I mean? I wound down too soon. That's on me, so hopefully that's not going to come back and bite me. But the pike hasn't come back. Middle rod. All the way out there. Over in that natural bay. That's a static dead. That's a whole smelt. And the right hand rod is a whole herring, placed in the margin at the moment. But I'm going to have a little tweak to my swim and my setups in a minute. I'm going to put that margin rod on the left hand side. I'm going to put the paternoster roach towards the features, the bridge, etc. At the moment we've been fishing half hour, 40 minutes. What a glorious morning, eh? I saw that float twitching the line. Sometimes they don't give themselves away easily sometimes. You got to keep an eye on your gear all the time. I saw that line playing out rather than there we go. Boy, we're off the mark. Well, it's only the first of the day. It's only a jack rather, and only the first of the day. But that's convinced me to stay put. It's on the smelt, static smelt. Look at it, only a bubby, but success so far. So I'm quite happy. It's clouded over. I'm much happier with the conditions now. It's not bright. Little jack. We're off the mark. Thank you very much, you pike gods. We'll get this little baby back and then we'll crack on and see if we can catch some more. We're off the mark. Number 2, another static dead on the far bank, half a herring, a little bit bigger than the first one. I reckon this is the second little male I've had with signs of spawning on it, like they've been really rubbing up against the big girls. Maybe that's why the sport's been really quiet at the moment, last few weeks. Hasn't been cold, maybe there is some spawning going on. But another small male. Let's get him back. That one goes to show you, you can't always rely on the indication you've got. Now, I've got an alarm on there and a float, obviously. I was sat there. Now, I've said before, I like to, when I'm pike fishing, I like to fish with slack lines, so I can see if there's any movement, if there's any deviations, anything, any clue to something might be happening. And the line just straightened out and tightened up, and that was it. That's all it done. But it was an alien move, if you know what I mean. It shouldn't have tightened up like that. So obviously something's there. So I got down to the rod, and that's my static dead with trebles. So I got down to the rod quick. Now I could have sat there and waited for the float to go, for something to happen. But the trebles, and I was convinced that tightening up the line was caused by a fish and nothing else. So I struck into it. That was only lip hooked, but obviously it picked the bait up and just sat there holding the bait. And that's the worst case scenario when you're pike fishing, because pike can just pick it up, swallow it, and not move. You know, and that's when you're going to get your deep hookings. But there's no way of knowing unless you're on the ball, unless you're watching all the time. I know you can't watch all the time. I know it's, you know, you're fishing with multiple rods, you might nod off. It could be anything. Could be busy with another rod. You know, it's not a case of you're doing anything wrong. It's just that sometimes you don't get a great deal of indication, or no indication at all. I'm saying that line, all that line did was tightened up, and you could tell the way it tightened up that it was a fish and nothing else. There we go, it's a better fish. $16.5. Nice big fish. Oh, 16.5. She'll do for starters. Let's have some more out of her. There's got to be bigger ones in there. Look at her. 16.5 a mussel. Whole sardine. I beg your pardon, a whole herring. Get her back. Gorgeous creature. Let's get her back. Oh. Let's open a little path for her. There she is, look at her. No, it's going the wrong way, sweetheart. That's it. There you go. Well, that's that little feeding spell over with, which was more than welcome. You know, I had a jack straight away. Well, not straight away, but I had a jack. And that more or less convinced me to stay. I was really seriously thinking about upping sticks and moving swims or moving stretches. I'm so glad I didn't. And another jack. I thought, oh well, that's two. Two's always better than one. And then I had a little spell where all three rods saw some action. Obviously only one resulted in a proper run and a fish. But yes, I went for a little bit of a feeding spell. And the middle rod, that's produced two fish. That was over at the far bank with half a herring. And they were big herrings and all about 8 inches, so I would say 3/4 of a herring rather than half, but I'm so pleased. I did mention that spot at the start of the video. I said the buttress of the bridge and the shape of the bank lent itself to sort of like a natural bay. There's a reed bed there. Obviously all the reeds have died down almost, but there still looks like a fish holding area. So I'm persevering with that. That middle rod, I haven't gone anywhere else. I'll keep plonking down in that space. At the moment it's paternostered. There's not really, I said it's had two knocks. It had one when it was on the left hand side, one when it was on the right hand side. Smelts produced a fish and had a knock. So we've had action on all three rods and interest in all three baits. So that's not a bad thing. Be nice to get a couple more though, you know what I mean? Get into the greedy bugger, and I but you know, get into the sort of like the realms of like half a dozen to 10 fish in a session would be nice. It's about 3 o'clock now, so we've got about 2 hours, 2.5 maybe, daylight left. First week of February. Days are getting a bit longer, but it's quite cloudy. Now when I drove to work yesterday evening, 5:10, it was, you know, it was still good. I would say good visibility for fishing. And it goes on turn about 5:30. So, you know, yeah, so I've got a good 2 hours, 2.5 hours at it. We might get a fish or two. I hope so. You know, it was a lean January. We've had a good winter, don't get me wrong. We've had 3 different 20s this winter, and on the rivers and drains, that, you know, it can prove hard doing sometimes. Like that one, that 16 there I had. I thought it was a 20 when I first saw it, but it's a bit on the short side. Weren't long enough. It was deep enough, but it weren't long enough. And well, let's see. We've got to say we've got a couple of hours left. Let's crack on. Let's catch some pike. Hey, another one. Oh, well, I was having a slow wrap up and the smelt went. Lovely jubbly. Got another one to finish the day on. What a lovely, if this is the end of the video, what a lovely way to end the video with a pike. Not huge, but welcome at the end of the day. 3 hours since the last fish, so really pleased with that. Hey, we got another one. Let's get this back and then we'll endeavour to catch a few more. Let's get it back. Well, just had a phone call. Need to go home, so we'll wait at the end of the video. So I've still got 2 rods to pack up, so you never know. Could be talking to you again, but if not, well, cracking way to end the show. Thanks for watching the movie. Click the like button, click the subscribe button. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. But, whew, another pike on the bank and another pike safely returned. That's all that matters. See you on the bank real soon, troops. Thanks for watching.